Technology is transforming everything around us, from the way we shop to how we communicate, and farming is no exception. Fields once worked by hand are now managed by algorithms. Machines plant, harvest, and monitor crops with precision that seems almost otherworldly. It's clear that high-tech farming is taking root, but here's the big question. Is it revolutionizing agriculture for the better, or creating new challenges we're not ready to face? The reality isn't so simple. Today, we're diving into the world of high-tech farming to explore how it's transforming agriculture, and whether it's truly a blessing or a curse. High-tech farming is flipping the agricultural world on its head. Gone are the days of guesswork and outdated methods. Farmers now have advanced tools that make every decision more precise. Technologies like AI, sensors, and precision agriculture are reshaping how we farm, ensuring every drop of water, every gram of fertilizer is used efficiently. No more waste. With real-time data, farmers can apply exactly what's needed, where it's needed, reducing both environmental impact and costs. AI is playing a major role in this transformation. Through machine learning algorithms, AI systems can process vast amounts of data gathered from sensors, satellites, and drones to predict crop yields, weather patterns, and even optimize planting schedules. AI tools like crop health monitoring systems can analyze images from drones to detect early signs of disease or pests, allowing farmers to respond faster and more accurately than ever before. AI-powered predictive models help farmers make better decisions on irrigation, planting, and harvesting, ensuring the right resources are applied at the right time. Take drones, for example. These aren't just high-tech gadgets flying over fields for show. Drones equipped with multispectral sensors can monitor crop health, spot pests, and detect diseases early, before they spread. With this early detection, farmers can apply targeted treatments, saving crops and reducing pesticide use. It's like having a set of eyes in the sky, offering detailed insight and preventing costly mistakes. Then there are robots, automated harvesters and planters that work tirelessly. These machines can plant seeds with pinpoint accuracy, remove weeds, and harvest crops faster than human laborers. They're designed to operate 24/7, which increases productivity while cutting down on labor costs and human error. And let's not forget vertical farming. Using climate-controlled environments, this technology grows crops in stacked layers, taking up minimal space. With hydroponics or aeroponics, crops grow without soil, using significantly less water and no pesticides. This technology can turn urban rooftops into food factories, providing fresh, local produce to cities with a much lower environmental footprint. It's a future where farming is more efficient, more productive, and more sustainable. But there's a catch. These technologies aren't cheap. Small farms in particular are struggling to keep up with the tech race. The big question remains, how do we ensure these advancements don't leave smaller farmers in the dust? It's easy to get swept up in the idea of high-tech farming. The possibilities sound endless, but the reality isn't as shiny. For starters, there's the cost. Drones, sensors, AI-powered systems, they're all expensive. The technology that promises to make farming more efficient is also priced out of reach for smaller, family-owned farms. For many farmers, the question isn't about whether they want these tools, but whether they can survive without them. Then there's the problem of dependency. High-tech farming requires constant attention. These machines don't fix themselves. Malfunctions, repairs, and regular maintenance can drain resources and time. It's not just about keeping your farm running, it's about keeping your high-tech gadgets in check. What happens when a drone crashes or a sensor stops working? The reality is, the more technology you bring in, the more problems you could face. And some of these problems can't be fixed with a quick trip to the hardware store. And let's not forget about the security risks. As farms get connected to the internet, they become more vulnerable to cyber attacks. What happens if your irrigation system gets hacked, or your automated harvester goes haywire because of a glitch? When your farm's operations are tied to the cloud, a single hack could send everything spiraling out of control. Technology is supposed to make things easier, but what happens when it goes wrong? Finally, there's a bigger question hanging in the air. What happens to the wisdom of traditional farming when technology takes over? For generations, farmers have worked the land with a deep knowledge passed down through the ages. But now AI and algorithms are stepping in to make decisions. Are we abandoning what made farming a craft in the first place? If algorithms start making all the choices, are we losing the heart of farming, those human instincts, that connection to the soil? High-tech farming isn't just a game changer, it's a double-edged sword. While it promises to make farming more efficient, it also introduces new challenges and risks. The question is, are we ready to pay the price for progress? High-tech farming often promises to be the eco-friendly solution we've all been waiting for. Less water, fewer chemicals, and more efficient use of resources. Sounds great, right? With precision farming, we can optimize everything, from water to fertilizers. Vertical farms allow us to grow crops in smaller spaces with fewer resources. But is it really all green? The benefits seem obvious. Less water and fewer pesticides. But it's not that simple. These high-tech systems depend on controlled environments that could disrupt natural ecosystems. Monocropping, the practice of growing one crop in vast quantities, is becoming more common. And while it may be efficient, it could weaken biodiversity. High-tech farms could be a threat to the balance of nature, even though they might look more eco-friendly at first glance. Then there's the ethical side of things, genetically modified crops. Technologies like CRISPR allow scientists to tweak plants' DNA, making them more resilient to droughts, pests, and diseases. This could be a huge win for global food security, but it raises some serious questions. Are we improving crops, or are we crossing a line we shouldn't? We've seen what happens when we mess with nature, so how far is too far? Could these changes have unintended consequences that we're not prepared for? So while the promise of high-tech farming sounds amazing, we need to ask ourselves, are we really helping the planet or just creating a different set of problems? Now let's talk about the biggest factor in all of this, the consumer. Will people embrace lab-grown lettuce and genetically modified wheat, or will they turn their backs on these new technologies? At the heart of it all is transparency. Consumers are wary of what they don't understand. If these companies don't clearly explain how food is made and what's in it, people will be skeptical. The more open the industry is about its practices, the more likely consumers are to trust the process. If there's any doubt about what's in their food, people will hesitate to buy. But there's another thing to consider: cost. High-tech farming isn't cheap. The technology and equipment come with hefty price tags, and that could drive food prices up. Sure, it may make things cheaper in the long run, but for now, the price could be too high for many. Will consumers be willing to pay more for food that's better, or will these new farming methods just make food a luxury for a few? In the end, whether or not high-tech farming succeeds depends on how consumers respond. If they trust the technology and believe in its benefits, high-tech farming could be the future. But if it's too expensive or too unclear, it may never catch on. The future of food is in the hands of the people who buy it. There's no doubt high-tech farming, it's a game changer. On one hand, it could be the key to solving world hunger. Drones flying over fields, robots picking crops, and smart tech making farming more efficient. This could mean more food with fewer resources. Imagine feeding the world with less water, fewer pesticides, and better yields. Sounds like a win, right? But on the other hand, there's a big question mark. Could this tech widen the gap between the big agribusinesses and the small farmers who can't afford all the fancy gadgets? And even if it's better for the planet, is it truly sustainable in the long run? These technologies might solve today's problems, but could they create a whole new set we're not prepared for? Between these two lies the clear truth. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. High-tech farming could protect the planet, or it could end up causing more harm than good. It might help us feed the world, or it could make food an expensive luxury for the few who can afford it. So what's the verdict? High-tech farming promises big rewards, but also comes with tough questions. The way we handle this shift will decide how we grow food, manage resources, and protect our planet moving forward. As we wrap up, remember, what we plant today shapes what we harvest tomorrow. Technology is changing agriculture, but should we fully embrace it, or is there a better way to grow? Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more discussions on the future of food, technology, and everything in between. The choices we make today will shape the future of our food. Where do you stand?